GTA fans believe Rockstar Games has hidden the Grand Theft Auto 6 map in its first trailer. We'll be talking about all of that in this video today and a whole lot more. So before we dive into that, let's get the latest update on what the actual Grand Theft Auto 6 map looks like coming from the GTA 6 mapping project. This is version 0.032, and there's a handful of new areas that have been added to give us a more complete look at what the map looks like. So the first thing that was done, according to the map creator Dubesor, is they added more locations for the Port Gellhorn gun and pawn shop. And this is actually something we saw in the trailer. It was towards the very end of the scene. You can also see that the Port Gellhorn area has been vastly updated too, as we saw Jason and Lucia sort of drifting away after what looks like they had just done a robbery of Uncle Jack's liquor. And so we actually see that there's a pawn and gun shop store there. And I've actually speculated that this might be Jerry Kapowitz's gun store. We actually did a video on him a couple of days ago. He's a homeless man in Liberty City. He finds the bag of diamonds that Nico, Johnny Klebitz, and Luis Lopez were after, and he says he plans to open a gun and liquor store in Vice City. I feel like Rockstar has to include this character, and they must make him own a store in-game, but that is the first update that was done. They also added the harbor and docks area around Sunset Bay. And this is going to be an area that connects the northern part of Vice Beach to the Sunset Islands and an area called Bayshore. And it looks like there's something here called the Sunset Harbor Yacht Club, which makes sense because in the trailer, in this one shot going over the Venetian Islands and Sunset Islands, we can see a handful of yachts just sort of floating out in the water of all sorts of various sizes and shapes, some big, some small, but there are plenty of them out there, which suggests something like that exists. And a few more adjustments that were made, including updating a few buildings and fix some building colors across the map, as well as massively updating Vice Beach, fixing a bunch of scale issues based on evidence from the trailer. And last but not least, the other thing that was added was the VOR/DME radio beacon to the VK Island based on evidence that was found in the very first trailer. So again, this is version 0.032 of the Vice City mapping project, and honestly, it's the closest representation we're going to get to the official map without having the actual official map to get our hands on. And speaking of that, many GTA 6 fans believe that they have found the Grand Theft Auto 6 map and that it was actually posted on the very first artwork that came alongside the trailer. So I believe this was first spotted a couple of days ago by a few users on the Grand Theft Auto 6 subreddit. And so for this, we're going to have to do a lot of zooming in. And thankfully, Rockstar has provided a pretty HD version of the artwork. And when you zoom in, this is the image in question here. And many fans believe that this is a general outline of the state of Leonida, at least potentially a cluster of islands that could be featured. So perhaps not the full Grand Theft Auto 6 map, but potentially a portion of Leonida. And there's even what looks like there's a few cities there, suggesting that if the map is a tease, Grand Theft Auto 6 will have multiple big cities, which is something that has been rumored for the game for quite some time. So I'm not completely sold on this. In fact, when you compare it to the Vice City mapping project, it really doesn't even look like the entire map at all. Now, what the guys in the Vice City mapping project are doing are absolutely incredible, and I do feel like it's somewhat accurate, but there's no way for sure to know exactly what the shape, size, scale of the world is going to be without Rockstar officially giving us something like that. Now, that does seem like a weird thing that Rockstar would put in there, because that is going to be a representation of what Vice City's main strip and main beach is going to look like. In fact, the building that supposed map is on, that's supposed to be the same building with the Scarface Easter egg from Grand Theft Auto Vice City. If you guys have done traveling or you've stopped at a rest stop, you'll often find these buildings have giant maps of the current state you're in. And even if it has nothing to do with a state, it's a mall or an airport, there's going to be maps that you can stand in front of that will give you a detailed outline of where you are, where you need to be going, and what's ahead of you. And especially with a popular tourist destination like the main strip of Vice Beach, it certainly is possible that Rockstar would have created a fictional Leonida map so that NPCs in the game could say, okay, this is where I am and this is what the entire state of Leonida looks like. It certainly is possible. Now, at the end of the day, even if this is the GTA 6 map or a rough outline of it, I don't know if we're actually going to be able to confirm if that is real or not. It is so low quality. We are having to zoom in so much and it has so little detail. How are we supposed to know if it is the real deal or not? And just based on what that current building is in Miami, it doesn't seem likely that it's a map. In fact, it could be something as simple as a menu. So that building used to be a Johnny Rockets, which is a restaurant, and they have the menus sort of plastered outside on these big posters so you can see what they are when you're sitting outside or walking by. And now it's actually a CVS pharmacy. So it could be some sort of advertisement board or it could be some sort of promotional sign. So honestly, I'm kind of torn. It could be a map or at least a rough outline that the artist who drew this artwork decided to put in here. Or it might just be kind of a description of something we would see on the outside of a building, like a sign or a poster or some sort of promotion or a menu. It is interesting, though, that whether it is a map or something else, that this is happening at the Scarface apartment, which again is an Easter egg that Rockstar featured in GTA Vice City and was one of the biggest inspirations for that game as well. But also playing devil's advocate on the other side as well, this wouldn't be the first time that Rockstar Games has teased one of their maps in a GTA title. I can't remember what Grand Theft Auto 4 trailer it was. I know it wasn't the first one, but I think it was either like the second or the third, where you can actually see one of like the in-game maps appear on the GPS. And it's pretty clearly an outline of what the Grand Theft Auto 4 map was going to be like in Liberty City. And I know that was a long time ago, probably in like 2006 or 2007, but they've done it in the past, and we know Rockstar is fully aware that players are going to dive into every single little detail that they post. So wouldn't it be interesting if they threw an Easter egg for us to discover like that does give us our first little glimpse at the map before they really tell us anything about it? Just something to think about, but I would of course love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Do you think the map that can be found on the in-game artwork is roughly the real map, or at least an outline of it for GTA 6? And do you think it's the same as the one we've been talking about in the Vice City mapping project? Let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.